In this video, we'll see how to create a classic editor pipeline for React app. For that, click on Pipelines. So create pipeline. Here we have the option use the classic editor to create pipeline without YAML. So now we are going with classic editor. Click here. And our repos are available in GitHub. So select GitHub. And in the previous video, we have seen how to authorize Azure DevOps with GitHub. So this is already authorized. So you can see here. Then select the respective repo. Like here, we are going with React app. So this is the repo. So select that. And then branch. You can go with the required branch. Here it is main. Then click on continue. Now, first click on empty job. After coming to this screen, mainly we have to do two things. Under this pipeline, we have to select the respective agent pool. In my case, this is my agent pool. So after selecting the agent pool, we have to name the pipeline accordingly. So in my case, I'll name it as cloudops.react.app. And after doing these two steps, let me add the required steps for build pipeline. In Classic Editor, basically we'll have two different pipelines. One is the build pipeline, the other one is the release or deploy pipeline. So for the build pipeline, what all steps needed for the React app we have to include here. First thing, we have to go with Node. Installing the required Node version. So Node tool installer, add the step. So here click on this. Then the required version should be specified here. If you specify the version here, automatically the display name will also be updated. So this is the first step you have to do. After installing Node.js, the second step is you have to go with npm install. So npm add this and click on the step. Here the command we are using is install. The working folder that contains package.json. Actually this package.json, if you go to GitHub and check, this is in the root folder itself. So here if you specify dot indicates that it is in the root folder. So specify that. So this step is done. Then next step is after installing, npm install, you have to go for npm build. So select this and here the command now required is you have to select custom. And the working folder that contains package.json is the same root folder. So specify a dot here. Then command and arguments here is you have to build this code. So for build, let me show you one thing here. Go to package.json. Here in the scripts, whatever is specified here in the step. So in this case, I'm using it as a build. So the same word you can use in the run in the pipeline. So run build. So after specifying that, we are ready to build the code. After building, we have to zip that. So here after build, what happens is we'll get a build folder created in the sources directory. So that binaries should be zipped. For that, you have to add one more step. That is You can search for zip. Here we have archive files. Add that. So click on this. Now here if you see build.binaries directory, this is a pipeline variable. Like this we have 3-4 pipeline variables. In our case, our binaries are in the sources directory. Under that sources directory, as I mentioned in the previous step, build folder will be created. That build folder will contain the actual binaries. So you have to rename this pipeline variable as sources directory. Under this sources directory, we have the build folder. So you have to mention that. And you have to uncheck this. Why we have to uncheck this means this is prepend root folder name to archive paths. In the archive paths, this build actually while deploying we need the actual contents, I mean actual binaries which are under build folder. We don't need the folder name. So in order to avoid that you have to uncheck this. Then the archive type, what we are looking for is we want to zip the binaries. So we have to by default it comes, so that is zip. And after zipping, this archive file will be created under this staging directory. Means the output will be available under the staging directory as a zip file. So this is what you are going to do in this archive step. After the zip file is ready, we have to publish that zip to the Azure pipeline. So for that, let me add one more step, that is publish. So here publish build artifacts. This is the needed step here. So under this publish step, here by default the name comes as drop. You can change it accordingly. Here in my case, I am keeping it as React app. So here if you see path to publish. Path to publish means from where we have to take the zip file and where we have to publish it. Actually, our zip file, if you go to the previous step, our zip is available in this path. So select this, copy and specify here. So that means from this path we are extracting, I mean we are selecting the zip file and that zip file is published to the Azure pipeline. So artifact publish location is Azure pipelines. And this is the path where we have the actual zip. So after doing all this, you have to save and queue. So agent pool by default it got selected. So branches, like you can select the required branch. In my case, it is main branch. Save and run. So if you click here, you can see all the steps getting run. The build pipeline has successfully executed. Now we can check the artifact. So click here. So the artifact is published. Now to create the release pipeline or deploy pipeline, just click on releases, new pipeline. And here click on empty job. So generally the stage name will be the environment name. In my case, I'm making it as dev. Then close this and rename the pipeline. So in my case, the CI pipeline is cloudops.react.app. So the same name I'm maintaining for the release pipeline also. After giving the pipeline name, add the artifact. For the artifact, this build pipeline is the source. So select that. Selecting, click on add. Once that is added, here click on one job. So on this agent job, we have to select the respective agent pool. Select that. Now we have to add the actual deploy step. So click on this plus. So now we want to deploy the service to the app service. So to deploy this application to the app service, we need one stage. Here I'm going with Azure Web App. So select that. And here select the subscription, or you can select the service connection. Then the app type is, in our case, it is web app on Linux. So I'm selecting that. And the app name is the app service name. This is the app service name. And here this package or folder that contains the zip will by default be attached here. And then here we have to specify the runtime stack. Runtime stack here is Node. We have gone with 20 version. So we'll take this Node 20 LTS. And the startup command, actually the startup command is needed for specifying the entry point for the application so that the application gets up and running. So for that, you have to copy this startup command and paste there. So after doing this, just to save, create a release, click on create. Now the deploy pipeline starts execution. So the deployment pipeline got succeeded. So to see whether the application got successfully deployed in the app service, click here. And here we have the URL. Copy that. So the React app successfully deployed in the app service. Thank you.